ever had a friend
Fiesta Life,
who
Brian
instead of
Crystal.
lifting you up or empowering you, parang you felt like, or I feel so bad about the loss of that friendship.
I would have to admit, even I myself, I miss the person. And that's why it's such a shame na ganun yung nangyari.
If your friend would lash out at you and get mad at you or turn things around and make you feel like you did something bad when we shared a lot of laughs, supported each other through tough times, and I genuinely valued his friendship. Honestly, I do not deny that. I feel so bad about the loss of that friendship because it was something I thought it's a friendship. It was like family to me.
I miss the person. And that's why it's such a shame na ganun yung nangyari. Kasi hindi dapat ganun eh. So, you know what I'm saying?
We're Thankful Time Creative Studios. My name is Brian Christian, and good afternoon. I'm streaming live in my Kumu. So, hi guys, how are you? Good afternoon. So today, it's going to be quite a different stream. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing my songs. All right. So how are you guys doing? Actually, you know what? I want to invite you guys to step up and join me in the stream today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sending you a link so that you can go straight to my studio and we can join. You can join my stream and you can be part of the discussion because I'm going to be discussing the relationship audit. So in my podcast before, I talked about the life audit. So basically, I shared before. If you guys want to see that episode, you can just go to my YouTube channel. It's DJ Fiesta PH, and then select yung past episode. And I talked about the life audit. So now I'm jumping to the next important thing if we want to have a successful life, and it's the friendship audit. Kasi I believe that the people you associate yourself with, the people around you, yung impact ng mga yan sa how we are. So saying hello to all of the people who are in the stream. Guys, right now I'm streaming via my riverside.fm. So, habang figure out ko yun, play ako ng music. So, I'm gonna start off with this song that I wrote way back. All right, there you go.
You never know what you're about until you lose everything in your life. Never regret it. Just keep your head up. Sooner or later you'll realize. You keep on flying. You keep on flying. Flying high. The sun rises from the east, bringing you hope and new beginning. Sunset to the west, bringing all the negative energy down to the darkness. In every storm, there is calmness in the eye of the storm, and I know you are there. You kept me together when it felt like everything was falling apart. This is my fight back, bringing my fight back. I'm never going down. You give me energy to light up this world. It's either I kept myself secluded, but what good is a light if in the dark it will not delight? Let me remind you, don't you ever underestimate the power of the mind. Never discriminate, because the power is in. You better believe me when I say that today is the day, and we gon' make it every day. All day we pray. You never know what you're about until you lose everything in your life. Just keep on fighting and keep on flying, flying high. Oh, I love you. And I ask the Almighty to guide me. Together we will lead mighty. Yours truly. This is B to the I to the YC. Coming at you with my crew, doing something new. We are the people you should never mess with. Come on. Stop pulling each other down. It's better to coexist than to resist. I love you. Never resist, because this is it. This is my fight back. This is my fight back. Every walk that I go, I know I'm there. through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Y'all better get ready, cause I'm coming at you, doing every little thing that I wanna do, saying what I wanna say. Yeah, this is my flight back. You never know. Flight back. Better believe me when I say, when I'm coming at you with my flight back. This is my flight back. Never lose hope every time you fall down. Remember, son, every time you fall down, it's never the end of the road. Get yourself together and you can run away, you can get away, but remember to take your flight back.
All right, something called Flight Back. This is one of the songs that I wrote before. And pretty much the meaning of the song is, it's the story of my life. You know, sometimes you never know what life is all about until you lose everything in your life. And then you realize that, you know, strip away from all of those things, medyo marirealize mo kung, you know, it humbles you. And it humbled me. And siguro, maybe if you guys get the chance to get to know me, you really realize that, you know, I really went through hell and back in my life and in the tragedy that I have experienced. But nonetheless, regardless, this is what this song is actually talking about. Parang kinakwento din yung, you know, what kept me strong, and it was my faith, and you know, that's why, you know, it's kind of, you know, parang how Jesus has saved me and kept me flying through all of those challenging moments of my life. So, have you ever had a friend who, instead of lifting you up or empowering you, parang you felt like hindi na maganda yung nagiging effect niya sa buhay mo? Have you ever had that? So, the reason why I'm asking this is, you know, someone who seemed constantly dragging you, when someone is constantly dragging you down, or have you ever had someone who said one thing in your face, sabay pagkatalikod mo, iba na pala yung sinasabi. And that's happened to me. That actually happened to me. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to break up with a friend. So it happens more often than we'd like to admit it. And today, I'm sharing my own recent experience and how it ties into the importance of a life audit, specifically when it comes to our relationships. Because guys, if you are in a relationship or you have friends who are very, very toxic, believe me, you are wasting a lot of time in having them around, and they're dragging you down with them. And that's why you have to be able to identify yung mga red flags na, okay, I think I have to let go of this friendship, or this friendship is not doing me any good. Okay. So let me tell you a little story, okay? So I had a friend whom I have known for a long time, and we were really close. I mean, you know, I treated him like a brother. And you know, we shared a lot of laughs, supported each other through tough times, and I genuinely valued his friendship. Honestly, you know, I do not deny that. I feel so bad about the loss of that friendship, because it was something I thought, you know, it's a friendship. It was like family to me. So, but recently I found out that this person has been saying a lot of pretty hurtful things about me behind my back. And apparently he'd been telling other people that I was stupid. Diba? Ouch. And honestly, it stung. It stung. And my initial reaction was anger and hurt. And I mean, who does that? Why would your friend, diba? Your friend calling you dumb and stupid, hindi siya tama. And I think that was the final straw. And I think it's pretty evident how he treats people around him. He likes, I don't want to mention any names, because, you know, we're not focusing on the person. We're focusing on the reason why we opted to cut off that relationship. So, but then I realized, you know, it was a perfect example of why we needed to constantly evaluate our relationship in our lives. Because this incident with my ex-friend perfectly illustrates. This is why I'm passionate about the relationship audit aspect of the life audit, because we need to be honest with ourselves about who is truly supporting us and who is draining our energy, or worse, actively undermining us. Instead of letting you being that force that empowers you, you know, they're killing your dreams, your aspirations, your hope, because of their hurtful statements, and they think that it's just a joke, but it's not. You know, it really stings. So that's why we need to do this, okay? So we're gonna dive deeper.
You know that my topic in my podcast right now is about the relationship audit. And, you know, I was wondering if you can share some insights about your experience and what made you decide. Actually, it's more of what made you make a decision that maybe it's time to take a break naman? Hindi naman end the relationship, but take a break from something that is already becoming toxic and hurtful in your end. Kasi, di ba, alam naman natin na medyo there's hurt in there. Kasi, aminin na natin, di ba? You guys were really friends and we're talking about the same person actually. Unfortunately, I'm not naming names, don't worry. I did not name drop kasi si PJ, guys, just to give you an idea. Lagyan natin ng sentimental music. Just to give you guys an idea. No, he went through like parang same thing as I went through. Yung breaking up with a friend, it's parang nakakapag-break sa jowa actually. But it's not easy. It's hard. I would have to admit, even I myself, I miss the person. And that's why it's such a shame na ganun yung nangyari. Kasi hindi dapat ganun eh. So, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, there's no use crying over spilled milk. That's how it is. PJ, ano masasabi mo? How did you deal with this? How are you now?
I'm okay na. Like what I've said before, sabi mo nga, mag-sorry na ako. Sorry na ako ngayon, nasa sa kanya, kung tatagapin niya o hindi. Mahalaga, kapag sorry ako sa taong nasaktan ko, o ano, sinong taong mga nakasakit ko, sorry, pero nasa kanya ngayon, kung tatagapin niya o hindi. Mahalaga, okay na.
Actually, are the reason, it's what creates the strong person in us. Depends on how you're going to take it in your life eh. Kasi, you know, kumbaga, tutunan na ako sa lagi in life. And siguro that's why I'm able to be in this place na it's so easy for me to decide na, okay, this is not a good relationship. Okay, this is not supposed to be like this. Diba? Anyway, so as long as you choose to be the bigger person, I think that's important. And also, you don't really need to end the relationship, guys. When I say that, you know, there's a toxic relationship that you need to end, specifically na parang makikipag-break ka talaga, there are times na kailangan mo lang mag-detox from it or ilalayo mo lang yung sarili. It's just that, realize ko na, you know, it made me see your authenticity as a person, that you did not take sides. And I think you deserve to be honored for that. I'm doing it in my podcast. I'm honoring you for being that person who tried to fix things up between two people, you know, that you consider friends. And that's why I appreciate you. You did not take sides and you listened to both our sides.
Tama.
Meron lang konting slight na I also have my opinion about it, that it wasn't done in a very best way. It kind of aggravated some things kasi yun, the ball is within our courts, how we're going to play it. But moving forward, at least you learned something from it. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That's my friend PJ live from sa opisina nila, ayan, sa warehouse nila.
Work pa.
So anyway, thank you for your time and sharing those insights.
Tapos na ako.
Hindi mo sinagot yung tanong ko.
Ano yung
Ako lang
tanong mo?
nagsalita. So how did you deal with it? How did you deal with the whole breaking up with the friend thing? How are you? Kamusta ka na about?
Ginagawa ko yung sarili ko na maging productive sa mga ibang bagay-bagay. Tapos yun, focus sa trabaho. Pag naging focus sa trabaho, nakakalimutan mo na.
Well, that's true. You did what is right. You chose to be a bigger person. And actually, at this point, I think it was a bad call. But then you know, I justify myself. I justify my action with my emotions. Siyempre, nasaktan ako and all. Anyway, so PJ said na to busy himself, and then so he made a decision that to keep his distance muna from that person, and because you know, he doesn't feel like he's being empowered in that relationship, and he's always parang nabubuli siya. Ala, sinabi ko. Anyway, parang gano'n yung nafe-feel niya. You know, pagka gano'n na yung mga galawan sa isang friendship, you know, something to think about. You know, you shouldn't be bullying your friends. You should be empowering your friends. Kayo magkaibigan, di ba?
True.
Anyway, so that's it. Thanks, PJ, for your input. And thanks for being part of the second episode of the Fiesta Life podcast.
Thank you, Mane.
All right. So, guys, that's PJ. Is someone who also is going through somehow, you know, he decided that to keep distance from the relationship first kasi according to him lagi nilang parang he feels like he's being bullied all the time, and you know, and I don't want to be the one to say it because I don't want to be quoted to say it, but let's just say that there were a lot of areas for opportunities to improve in their relationship, and he didn't feel like it was becoming productive na in the way things are being handled. So he decided that, to let it go first. If you ask my opinion, ang ginawa lang naman, ang nangyari kasi guys, ganito, to give you an idea dun sa pinag-usapan ko, apparently, behind my back, the other guy was saying things. So, PJ, on the other hand, talked to me. Parang ang pangit daw ng tingin niya sa akin eh. Bakit ko gagawin yung mga bagay na ganun? And so I gave him my side of the story. Remember, there's always two sides of the story. And that's why I wanted to honor him. I honor him because he's a good, in that sense, he's actually a good person because instead of taking sides sa dalawang tao, he tried to hear the side of both so that we can help in the reconciliation. It just so happens kasi that the reconciliation did not happen because, things were, bad words were thrown here and there and allegations then. But if it would have been handled, if things were taken into a different perspective, sayang yung opportunity na yun eh. Kasi he was trying to be the mediator eh. Siguro in all this, the learning is in his side of the fence. Ang kailangan niya matutunan is how to mediate next time. Kasi when you don't mediate it properly, it causes tension. More tension that is already existing. Kung ang nangyari is, nagkaroon ng mas maraming tension. And lalong ngayon tuloy naggalit-galitan yung dalawa. Me and my ex-best friend, we have irreconcilable differences. So, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when the person when your friend or your relationship is the kind of people who don't think that there's nothing wrong with them and they're always right, medyo red flag na yun. Kasi, honestly, I always try to see kung ano rin yung pwede kong i-improve. Kunyari, there's an issue. I also assess myself, like, what did I do? Where did I fail in the process of performing or doing an action? Where did I fail? And where did the other person fail as well? So I try to look at it in both aspects because I always believe that there is always a room for improvement for everyone. So, with that said, if you are in a relationship and hindi sila ganito mag-handle ng mga situation in life, then you gotta think about that. Kasi it would be great na yung mga kaibigan natin, minsan, they become the voice of reason, our voice of reason. And that's why, after that, I realized that I needed new friends. In my period of isolation, it was only my ex-best friend that I was hanging out with. So that's the story of that. So this is where the relationship audit is coming from. So it's really doing a deep dive into your relationships and identifying those red flags. So that's where this becomes difficult. It's taking a hard look at all the areas of our lives, including the relationships, and making the conscious choices about what we need or what we want to keep and what we need to let go. Kasi if we could keep those things that are holding us down, definitely it will hold us down. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. My name is Brian Christian, by the way, and you are in the Fiesta Life podcast. This is the first time that I'm doing a test broadcast of my podcast here in Kumu via my Riverside.fm platform. Remember that you deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not tear you down. So let's work together to create lives filled with positivity and empowering relationships. Remember, imagine if this world will be always positive, sobrang good vibes lang. Instead of pulling each other down, you empower each other. And I think that this world is going to be a better place.
So thank you guys for keeping me company on this podcast. And I would like to just bring this to a close. So as we end this episode today, I want to bring it back to that personal experience that I shared. You know what? Thinking back on the misunderstanding with my friend and how even well-intentioned mediation can sometimes backfire and create more tension. This really highlights what a relationship audit is all about. It's not about cutting people off, taking them out of your life. It's about creating deeper, more meaningful connections, okay? So it's an opportunity to realign ourselves with our goals and consider the impact that we have on others. And it's also a chance to inspire growth together. And it's good to have those kinds of relationships. So if you have that kind of relationship, then lucky you, because you got yourself a friend for keeps. This is This process actually becomes our screening tool to reveal who is genuinely worth keeping in our lives. If they're open to healthy, productive conversations like this, you found someone to grow with. But if a relationship constantly leaves you feeling exhausted, unappreciated, or hinders you from doing what is right, then creating healthy distance might be the kindest thing you can do for the both of you. Okay. So, that said, losing a friend is sad. Receiving hurtful words or false allegations is disappointing. But what truly sets us free is taking away their power over us, choosing to be the bigger person, and choosing to forgive. After all, nobody is perfect. I read it in a book. I read this from a book. It says life is a growth school. So, speaking of growth, I have to, by the way, take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to all the 300 subscribers that we have in this channel. So your support inspires me to create more relevant and meaningful content. So thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of my heart. If you're not yet a subscriber, I'd be honored if you want to join our community. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there, and then hit the bell notifications also, so you can get notified when I have new content coming in or coming out. So going back to the conversation, to that person that I was talking about, I had no bad intentions, nor did I mean to undermine him in any way. And I'm not competing with him also. I heard that, I heard some bad things that was said about me. And I just want to tell this person that I will not name in respect to his privacy. There's no need to ask for an apology. I forgive you anyway. If there are irreconcilable differences between the two of us, the right thing to do is, just to give each other respect for what it's due. Give the respect that is due. After all, this world thrives on diversity. And that's the most important thing, Maybe we will have differences, and if we cannot reconcile them, then it's not, I don't think that we should be hurting each other, because after all, we were friends. We are friends, and friends don't do that. And for what it's worth, guys, before you jump into some issue, if you're trying to mediate, you have to do it the right way. Remember, the objective of a mediation is to reach an agreement, to reach an agreement, or to reach a reconciliation. And it's not like pouring gas on a fire. That's what happened to me and my friend, because somebody intervened, and the way he framed the words were really derogatory, and that's why my friend ended up saying hurtful things to me. And I'm also just human, so I'm just gonna and I'm sorry if I reacted, but it was a human thing. You heard someone call you things that you didn't like that I was stupid, like what I said earlier in the episode. And maybe it was taken into a different context when it was heard, and when I received the message, it was already in a very hurtful way. Please, if you're gonna mediate between two people, you have to remember what your objective is, so that you can control the communication that you will be providing. You're bringing messages from person A to person B. And if you don't do that well and properly and effectively, then you're gonna get information from person A, throw it to person B, and not screen it. And person B is gonna get infuriated, and he's gonna fire back at person A. So where's the reconciliation there? You should have talked to person A and talked to person B, and tried to come up with something so that you can inform both parties that this is what this person is saying about you. But I believe, looking at it from a different perspective, that you guys should talk, because you shouldn't be fighting, and you guys should be understanding each other. So stop this, because this is nonsense. Why don't I go ahead and set a meeting for you guys, so you can talk, and I will mediate. I will be there between the two of you to help you both understand each other, because you guys are friends. You guys are not supposed to be fighting. That's what a mediation or a mediator should be doing. It's not this person said that you're like this and you're like that, and so person B was like, what the is that? And explodes and wants to throw a tomato bomb towards the other person's. That's possible. So there's what we call there's responsibility in doing that. So if you want to be a mediator between two people, make sure you can handle it. If you can't handle it, don't even bother diving in because it is already a high tension relationship. It's a high tension, so you don't want to go aggravating it to something that will cause more pain and hurt for both parties. So that's all I wanted to say tonight. Because I apologize to my friend for whatever I have said, and it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It doesn't matter if it was I who was at fault. But going back to the very beginning, there is no intention, bad intention from my end, and that's why what I've heard was just it was a bit unfair. But then again, it doesn't matter because it's a learning. Life is a growth school. This is a learning experience, and I guess that's why we should always embrace these kinds of situations because this is what makes us grow. This is what makes us human. So again, guys, I'm reminding you to always be kind, always do good, and always be thankful. And keep a positive mindset. Always be mindful of the things happening around you, and always stay safe. And God bless you all. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Fiesta Life podcast. This is Brian Christian, and I say adios. Hasta luego. Paalam sa susunod natin ulit na pagkikita at masaya ako sa mga tatlong I'm happy with the 300 subscribers. Please guys, I would love it if you join the community. And also, what do you think about today's episode? Please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Did you experience anything quite the same as I did? How did you handle it? And yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. I'll catch you in my next episode. This is Brian Christian signing off.